What's the best way for engineers to collaborate internally and across supply chains? Let's talk about that next. All right, let's talk about design collaboration. I think a lot of people recognize that collaboration amongst engineers is becoming more and more important. And actually, it's kind of on the critical path for the development of smart connected products. You're seeing more outsourcing to a lot of suppliers to develop systems. They have more capabilities in developing systems. And there's a lot more collaboration across engineering domains nowadays. So definitely a lot of mechanical engineers working with a lot of electrical engineers back and forth. But the same is also true between mechanical engineering folks. They need to work together to fulfill increasingly complex requirements for products. And collaboration is a key in ensuring everybody can address the ones they're assigned without stepping on each other's toes. Now, collaboration between engineers is usually supported with an email-based process. So let's just walk through that real quick. You have two companies with two engineers, and they need to work together on a design. Well, the first engineer develops the design and emails it to the second engineer. And that's good. They get that. Sometimes it might be difficult to locate that design, to keep track of it, because everybody gets a lot of emails these days. It might be deleted, might be lost. Now, of course, this situation or scenario isn't static, it's dynamic, right? So the engineer changes that design a little bit, makes some tweaks to it. And let's say they are diligent and they send that new version of the design to their collaborator. And again, let's say that gets lost, maybe the email gets deleted. Regardless, that is not kind of taken into account. So what happens is, working against the original version of the design, you have a problem in terms of scrap, rework, a change order, any of those things, and a whole list of other issues that can crop up when you're working against an out-of-date version of a design. And that manifests in real costs for the company and even delays in the overall development process. So these issues with email-based collaboration, and it's frankly true of any file-based collaboration, have some real teeth to them. It's not just about the costs, although there are hard dollars when you build a prototype and it fails because you had the wrong version of the design in it, or you have scrap and waste on the shop floor. A big issue, maybe a bigger issue depending on your company, is the delay it incurs in the development process. Every company is in this huge race to either get to market first or deliver a product to a client on time. And this has a dramatic effect on that. It's a source of risk, it's a source of error. A different way of enabling design collaboration is through a cloud-based solution. And actually it has a pretty dramatic and direct effect. So let's revisit this scenario. In this case, the engineers are using a design solution in the cloud. The engineer designs it, and the other engineer basically just accesses it in the cloud. There's no files being exchanged. There's no out-of-date information. They are always looking at the latest version. And of course, just like the other scenario, this is not static. There's going to be a change, but in this case, they're both going to be looking at the latest versions so they can collaborate together. So the advantages of this approach, using a cloud-based solution for design collaboration, is pretty direct and pretty clear. Everybody stays on the same page. There's a single source of truth, but there's not like work in process pockets of isolation where engineers are doing work on their own thing and then contributing back to a data management solution. Which you could call that a single source of truth, but when you have these little work in process pockets that are isolated, you're introducing risks that people are out of date. In a cloud-based solution, you don't have that. right? So everybody is seeing and working against the latest version, and you have you eliminate all those issues that we talked about before, delays and costs that are incurred. So it's a significant step forward for engineers that need to collaborate with other internal folks, people that are in other engineering disciplines, and the rest of the supply chain. That's it. Take care and talk soon.